This segment sponsored by Foster Financial. Welcome to Wealth Wednesday with Foster Financial, where we provide you with holistic financial advice that you can utilize throughout your week. And you know what? New things that you've never learned before. And today we're going to hit on a topic, and I'm so excited to be joined by Caleb Doane, who is the Vice President of Foster Financial. Hi, Caleb.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going well. How are you doing?
Good. Going good. Okay, so I'm so interested in this topic because I've actually never heard of it before. But NUAs. What is an NUA?
Yeah. I think this is the first time we've talked about it. It stands for Net Unrealized Appreciation, and you're certainly not the first person who hasn't heard of this. Even among financial advisors, I'd say it's probably a slim kind of portion who utilize this throughout their practice. But it's something that applies specifically to people who have company stock within their employer-sponsored 401k.
Okay.
And so, there's a lot of companies around the area, bigger companies like Raytheon or Zimmer Biomet, Steel Dynamics. A lot of these big companies, they're also publicly traded companies, right? So you can buy their stock. And a lot of them allow employees to buy that stock within the 401k. And there's basically this kind of rule in the tax code and NUA, Net Unrealized Appreciation, that gives those employees a tax break on that money that they put in company stock when they eventually go to withdraw it.
Okay, so it is super specific. So it's like you have to have a 401k, and then you have to have your 401k invested into company stock if they offer it, if it's a traded company.
I know.
That's easy.
I know. Yeah, it's a kind of a slim portion of people who it applies to.
Yeah.
But I mean, even with that, just based on the companies we have in the area, we've done this with a lot of companies. Of course, Raytheon, Sherwin-Williams, they might be headquartered in Ohio, I want to say. There's a lot of people who have worked there who have now retired in this area. Steel Dynamics, Nucor, Grainger, I think is another one. So there's a lot of places, and even though it doesn't apply to a lot of people, when it does, I mean, it can literally save tens of thousands of dollars on taxes. So yeah, it's a wonderful thing I always like doing for clients.
Yes, and so I was going to ask, is this something that is disclosed? Is it something that's offered in a benefits packet from HR when they start? Or is it something that they need a financial advisor to kind of find those little nuggets of financial wealth, really?
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Even people who are in these plans who it does apply to, it's really not very well publicized, I guess, at these companies. And so when people come to us, it's usually us saying, hey, do you know you actually have this opportunity in your plan? And they're like, no, I didn't know that, and I also don't even really know what that is. So essentially, normally, when you go to take a withdrawal from your 401k, you have to pay ordinary income tax on all the money that comes out. So, if there's $50,000 in there and you withdraw 50 grand, you pay ordinary income tax on 50 grand. So if you're in the 12% federal tax bracket, you pay 12% federal, maybe you pay 4% state, and of course you get less than the 50 grand that you wanted to take out. With an NUA, let's say you had $50,000 of company stock within your 401k plan, and maybe you paid in, $5,000 for that company stock over the course of your career, and it's grown and done really well, which many of those companies that I referenced have done really well. Instead of paying taxes on all that money, you only pay ordinary income tax on the $5,000 that you paid in to get that company stock. The rest of it, all the growth, the other $45,000, only gets taxed at the capital gains rate as opposed to the ordinary income rate. And if you're in the 12% tax bracket, capital gains is zero. And so really you only pay taxes on that 5 grand, you don't pay taxes on the rest of it. So it's a really big tax
zero when you're in what tax bracket?
Yeah, if you're in the 12% federal tax bracket, capital gains is zero, which is a wonderful. You can't get better than a 0% tax bracket, right?
Yeah, so this is the growth over the duration of it. And so I know that stocks is a little bit different. So when you have a 401k, of course, you leave a company, you have to roll it over. If someone leaves a company and they have that vested stock, can it stay there, or do they have to roll it over when they leave?
Yeah, that's a great point. If you roll it over to like a new 401k plan, it negates the ability to do that NUA. And so we'll tell people if they have a really big NUA opportunity, leave it there in that 401k for a period of time. And then once you're able to do the NUA, then we can do it. And typically you need to be 59 and a half or older to kind of get the full benefit. But a lot of times, the people who benefit from this the most, I guess, are the people who have highly appreciated stock at that company. And typically that means they've worked there for, 30 years and retired from there. And so a lot of times people just do this when they retire. They go to kind of roll it into an IRA, and then we do the NUA at the same time.
Oh, so it's best towards the end. So if someone's first starting out at a company, this really wouldn't apply to them, or they should get started on investing in the stock option.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So if you're working at a place like Sherwin-Williams or Steel Dynamics or wherever it might be, there could be some benefit to putting a portion of your 401k into the company stock. It's less diversified, of course, than other things, because you're putting kind of more eggs in just that one basket of the company. So we wouldn't have anybody put all of their investments into that, but if you're just starting out at a company, it could be a good time to contribute.
Wow, okay, well that's really fascinating. Well, thank you for breaking down NUAs for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, okay. Well, if you would like more information about Foster Financial, or if you need some financial consultation, they actually offer it complimentary. So we'll have their phone number listed below, and I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Foster Financial.